Hi, in this video we are going to see the learning development plan, the learner side report for the learning development plan. Okay, this learning development plan report will not be there in the reports. It will be there in the learning home because this is the ongoing process, right? Because it's a learning path and they'll be continually go through in different courses and other stuff. So that's why this learning development plan is there in the learning home of the learner. Okay, so when I go to the learning development plan, okay, I can see the various different learning paths that I have created for me. Okay, if you remember the maybe while at the end of the course we have the roadmap of continuous learning path, and from where we have multiple options of creating the learning paths, right? So whenever a learner creates any learning path from any of the courses, all the learning path will be listed over here. Okay, and you have the filter option to filter it by based upon the status of the learning path, and again I can search it. Okay, and if you want I can export this particular report, this particular learning path, which gives you a detailed view of the learning path, the milestones and everything. Okay, so for example, when I click on the first learning path, I can see the details of it. So here you can see the learning path name. Okay, and I can see the different milestones for this particular learning path. I can see the start date and end date for it, and I can see the progress of that. Okay, and I can see the status of each of the activities that is there within the milestones. Activity in the sense each of the courses or resources, anything else. Okay, and I can see the actual completion date, and I can see the note section. Okay, so I will just explain each of the columns. So milestone 1, you can see the this one with this hat is the symbol that these are courses that is from the existing courses from the Lerero platform. That is why you have a different symbol here. And if you see here, you can see two lines, right? It means that these are the from the resource library. Okay, and here you can see an arrow. So this indicates that these are the external resources which the learner has selected or the client admin has provided, anything. But basically we have the three different types of offerings within the learning path. One can be the course existing within Lerero, one can be the resource library within Lerero, and third will be the external resources. Okay. And this is the start date, end date is the date which the learner has entered while creating the learning development plan. Okay, so once he keeps creating each of the learning path, he will be putting the start date and end date. So that is what here it says. Okay, and this is the progress, like it is the progress of that particular learner, like if it is a course where he has been and other things. So these are captured by within the by the system itself. Okay, and here if you see this system, the status is automatically tracked by the system because the courses and the resources are within the Lerero platform. So the system automatically tracks the status of these things like courses and the resource libraries. Whereas the external resources, I do not have any kind of tracking. The Lerero cannot track whether they have completed or not. So in that case, the status will be needs to be selected by the learner. So whenever the learner says that he has started working on it, he says like started or head or at or on track or something like that, he needs to manually enter this status because this external resource is something he is taking outside the Lerero. So system cannot track it, and he needs to update the status manually for the external resources. Okay, and these things, so whenever you say like the learner has completed the course, it says completed. Whenever is on within the end date is within the current date, it says on track. Whenever we foresee that the learner has completed only 20%, but the end there is only 2 days or 3 days of end date is there, then it says like high risk because the learner has not started it and the end date is going to near. That's why it says an indication at risk, something like that. And here he has completed it. So this date, actual completion date, is the date when the learner has completed that particular course or the resource library. Okay, and here you can see different plus icons. So the learner can add resources or the learner can add notes for each of the KISS resources. When I click on add notes, I can add a title for the note and I can add a description for it and I can save it. Okay, I have saved it. So this is where I'm going to add the individual notes. Okay, so once I have added the notes, I can see a notes list page. Here you can see the notes list where I can search it by using a title, or I can filter it by the person who created the notes. Okay, if you can click on it, you can see the different persons created. Actually this filter is for created by person, like I can see the notes created either by me or by the course admin. Okay, so here for the notes which I have created it, I can either view it. The notes which the client admin has created, I can view it. For the notes which I have created, I can view it or I can delete it, I can edit it. Okay, so if you want to add additional notes, you can click add notes and you can add it.